Dear Dr. Mahrang Baloch, may I begin by expressing that it is an honor to initiate this conversation on behalf of our TV entity. Your presence and insights are highly esteemed and valuable to us. You made these calls to the international community, which are, you said, we hope you can understand our pain and fulfill your humanitarian duty by helping us. We may say that Kurdish people have tragically experienced analogous massacres and ongoing blood that persists. Our cause is so similar that it is impossible not to hear you and feel your pain. Dear Mahrang, firstly, could you briefly talk about who is Dr. Mahrang Baloch and your background, how you began your struggle, please?
Thank you very much. It's an equal honor for me also because we know what's happening in Kurdistan, and basically our causes are same, and we share the same pain, and in historically we share the same pain and also our struggle. There are both similarities in our struggle. So firstly, I am Dr. Mahrang Baloch. I belong to Mongachar, a region of Balochistan, and I am currently pursuing my post graduation in general surgery. And alongside my medical degree, I proudly identify myself as a political activist dedicated to fighting against the Baloch genocide and striving for a better life for my people. Uh, can you hear me, Nejla? Should I continue or not?
I
Hello?
can hear you. Carry on, please.
Yes, yes, yes. My activism began in 2006 when my father, a political worker, was forcibly disappeared by the state-backed agencies, and I was just in sixth grade at that time. But the pain of his arrest promoted me to come to the streets, and we have protested for him and for the release of my father. Then he was released on 2009, and after that he was again abducted from a hospital in Karachi when we were there for treatment of my mother. And tragically, I lost him in 2011. He had been killed by the Pakistani army, and his body was thrown. His mutilated body was thrown in Gadani area of Balochistan. This devastating loss ignited within me and compelling me to join the Baloch national struggle. And after that, as a Baloch, because we have no choice but to join our struggle. After my father's murder, the state again came and again abducted my only brother, Nasir Baloch, in 2017. After 3 months and 10 days, he was released. But at that point, that tragedy struck again. I decided that I will not return back. And the pain of losing my father and the constant threat to our loved ones solidified my commitment to dedicating my life to the cause of our people, cause to our homeland. And as a path I've chosen, and since that fateful day, I haven't looked back. That's what Marang is just, I sometimes I wonder what if this couldn't happen, and what if we were living in a peaceful life. But also I say that this is what we are, and I am happy, and I've chosen this life over all of the other life, and it's the best life that I am living because I am raising voice for those that are unheard. They trust me, and this is the beautiful life that I am living in resistance.
Thank you. I go to my second question. So, before initiating the march to Islamabad, you as women carried out actions. Could you briefly summarize the purpose of the planned march and ongoing actions for our viewers and readers, please.
Before we started the march to Islamabad, our women's action was crucially in drawing attention against the human rights violation and against the Baloch genocide. Let me start that what led this march. It happened when, in 23rd of November, Baloch Long along with three other enforcedly disappeared people were extrajudicially killed by the state-backed forces called CTD. And all started with the extrajudicial killing of Baloch Long, a victim of enforced disappearances. In response, his family, along with Baloch Yakjehti Committee, have organized a sit-in in the remote region of Balochistan, Torbat. After 15 days of that sit-in, we decided that we will start a long march and we will visit all of the far-flung regions of Balochistan. And uh, as a result, the decision was made and they scaled the protest into the long march spanning the entire Balochistan. What we have done, we visited every region and also we have organized a registration camp. We wanted to give courage to our people because from decades the state has ruled us with their army, with their guns, and they have brutally killed our people. So that there were three types of people in our nation. One that were direct victims of state violence, and one were those that have been forcibly disappeared and now they have been threatened. And the other one was those who are always in fear of being enforcedly disappeared or being killed by the state. So none of us were safe and there was not a genuine political movement that could give voice to these people. So what we started, we said that we will give courage to our people, and it was a women-led march because the women is equally equally affected by the state oppression. When Balach was abducted, Balach was sleeping with his mother, and still today, his mother is in the camp and she weeps every day. She says that in the morning, I can hear the voices of Balach. And if there are thousands of missing persons, then there are thousands of their family members who are living a life that there is no life with them. Like there are thousands of half widows in Balochistan. Their fate of life is unknown. That while they are widowed or they are married, they don't know why they are waiting and for who they are waiting. And this unprecedented long march has become a political force, like uniting our entire region in a single platform, from DG Khan to Karachi, various regions where states have divided us, like in respect of regions, in respect of religion, in respect of languages. But our long march united all of the entire Balochistan, and we were traveling from region to region to a message like women in our region, women in Balochistan are respected beyond words. We lived as a secular nation from thousands of years, and there in Balochistan, women is women is the elder of the family. She can take any decision. So we women have gone from home to home to send a message to our people that come and let's be united. Let's join our national struggle. Let's don't wait for the dead bodies of your beloved ones, because it's not like this one dead body. You find one dead body. Every single person is victim of state terrorism. And this long march is the beginning of a broader movement. Our plan is to traverse Balochistan, uniting our people in every city and village. Like it's the third phase of our movement, and in third phase of our movement, uh, uh, we have uh, we have organized protests in every region, every single region of Balochistan, and we message to the women of Balochistan that come to the roads, come and join the movement, because a nation is made by men and women, and the equal participation of women is as necessary as the equal participation of men. And if we want a peaceful land, if we want no more dead bodies and the genocide what we are suffering, it's third generation of Baloch that is suffering genocide. And you know, sometimes I feel so much hopeless, because when we visited the UN office in Pakistan yesterday, they were saying that we didn't know that what's happening in Balochistan. So I was, uh, at that moment, I was like, we are suffering from decades, and you have made this organization just as a tools and practices that yes, we are protecting human rights and we are here. We will not let any state to kill people, to genocide the indigenous people and the oppressed nation. But still, no one came for us. And at that moment, I said, us movement. No one will stand for us. And then one thing is the international interest. They won't help us. They didn't out Palestine. They didn't out Kurds. What we want to achieve, we want to achieve it on our own. We want to give uh, every energy to our movement. If we want to survive, our survival is depends upon the survival of a nation. So, just as the world raises its voice against genocide and human rights violation elsewhere, our goal is to ensure that the world becomes informed about the Baloch genocide, promoting global voices to speak up for the oppressed Baloch people. Because when we arrived in Islamabad, we were beaten, we were thrown into jail. I myself faced violence. They beated me for more than 7 hours, and all of the women, even the children, were not spared. There are footages present, and still till today, it's our 23rd day sitting in Islamabad. No any kind of state have taken any notice against those who beaten us, who have threatened us, who have thrown us illegally into the jail. So this we from there we want to give message to all of the world. We want them to hear about us, that there is a nation named Balochistan who has been suffering from decades, who has been suffering, and no one of us is, not a single one of us is able to breathe, even though we are we are not even though safe in abroad. The European states, we have been killed in there also. Our identity have been claimed as the biggest save in our nation. So we want to mobilize all of the global voices, and we are here uh, to show us our pains. Like in this sitting, more than 200 families are present. Every family is a story. Every family is there and sitting. They are also not narrating their story, but they are narrating the story of their nation. That what's being happening to them in Balochistan. Like myself, my father was killed. My father was killed 13 years back, and my brother was abducted. There are many people surrounding me that they have lost their father in the state war, and also there are families who have lost their two or three family participants just by the state violence. So we are here. We just want the global world to even though consider, talk about us, and join our movement, and practically whatever you want, whatever is needed for humanity, for nation. Thank you.
As far as we know, the Baloch people faced violence and oppression from the Pakistan counter-terrorism department while advocating for democracy and the fundamental rights. And numerous individuals were reportedly killed, staged as fake clashes in the streets. Can you provide more information on the exact number of the casualties?
Like first of all, it's not just CTD. They have changed their names from decades. The scale of violence and oppression faced by the Baloch people by the hands of Pakistani authorities is, uncountable. Like they are doing it from decades. Firstly, they name it ATF, then they change the name. They again introduced an institute called CTD, Counterterrorism Department, that has been exercising state for. Violence, state power illegally, inhumanly from the last 4 years. The state-sponsored violence against Baloch people has been going for decades, with a particularly alarming acceleration since 2009. What they have done, they have started the kill and dump policy of the state. Firstly, they abducted thousands of Baloch political activists, including them were journalists, teachers, doctors, all of them were the assets, the cream of Baloch society. And then they starting killing them, and that was called the kill and dump policy of the state. Even though in 2013, 25th of January 2013, a mass grave were identified in the region of Tuta Ghuzdar, where more than 300 enforced disappeared Baloch were killed and mutilated. Their mutilated bodies were present over there. The Asian human rights organization, Amnesty, and UN also raised concerns. But what has been done? Pakistan made a fake judicial commission to ignore the situation, to just when the global pressure have came. So after that, they said that no army and no, even though those bodies were never identified that who were them. No any DNA was carried out against them. So the recent, your question is the recent victims of enforced disappearances who have been killed by the CTT. We have the list of them. They are above their 40 persons who have been identified that they have been killed by the CTD. And there are multiple raids which CTD has done. Even though CTD is involved in the enforced disappearances of Baloch women, a woman named Mahrang Baloch was firstly disappeared, and then they claim her that she is a terrorist. Then they presented her in the court. They even though threatened her, and also they even against the international laws, against the laws of torture, and against the laws of a right to self-defense. They even though interviewed her in the detention center, and they blackmailed her just to say that yes, I was a terrorist. So there are a list of people who have been killed by the CTD, and also there are also list of FIRs. CTD was FIR multiple times. FIR means first information record. There are also legal cases against CTD, that what CTD is doing. The CTD is raiding every time. Every home is being raided, threatened, and also they loot the resources of the common people. Like they when they during the raid, they stole money, they take money, and every type of violence is it's been legalized. Like I say that when we started the movement, our demand was to lodge an FIR, first information report, against those who killed Bala Smolabak extrajudicially while he was in the custody of his state. So we, even though protested for more than 15 days, we have organized a sit-in in front of the court of Turbat. But after that, when they lodged an FIR, the government of Balochistan and the state have done a press conference and say that we will quash this FIR. CTD is they were backing the killing forces of killing the CTD that has been involved in the extrajudicial killing of our people.
My next question would be, it's evident that there are significant parallels between the struggles experienced by Kurds in 1990s and your own. To unite and strengthen these movements be essential. Fostering collaboration, sharing experiences, and amplifying a collective voice could be essential. So, the initiatives like joint awareness campaigns, international advocacy, and mutual support can contribute to a to more powerful impact. So establishing common ground and working together may further enhance the effectiveness of your respective struggles. What do you think about this?
We recognize the strength in unity and believe that fostering collaboration, sharing experiences, and amplifying a collective voice could be essential for both movements. Initiatives such as joint awareness campaigns, international advocacy, and mutual support have the potential to contribute to a more powerful impact. From the outset, we have committed to internationalizing our movement, understanding the importance of building alliances and garnering support from a global scale, specifically from the struggles and from the aware people of oppressed nation who know the pain of Baloch, who understand that what Baloch is suffering. We invite fighting against this oppression and barbarism alongside other friendly nations, especially the Kurds. By working together at the international level, we aim to create sympathizers, fosters unity, and build solidarity with movements of oppressed nations worldwide. We can strengthen our collective voice and work together for a more just and equitable future in future for the Kurds, for the Baloch, for the Palestine, for the every oppressed nation that has been suffering in 21st century. While there is a so-called global world who is gaining money in the name of human rights, who have built multiple so-called organizations just to still there is a we believe as a political activist that the colonial era is not over, and we as a nation are facing colonialism direct, and we are threatened, our identity is being threatened. So we find ourselves, and we have been in the solidarity with other oppressed nations from decades. And I can also, while I was a child, I know that many of my fellows, yeah, my comrades, they idolize Kurdish movement and specifically the Kurdish women struggle. And even though they gave us examples that no, you are not at the level of this Kurdish women struggle. So we know Kurd people from decades, and we find ourselves in their movement, and also we want these movements to come together and to advocate for the rights of their people. Thank you.
So the Kurdish people culturally and ethnically identify themselves similar to the Baluchi people. It's known that your rules in the 1600s and 1700s, like ours, use the title Mir, M-I-R. Many independent Baluchi activists also historically used Kurd as a surname. How do you feel about the affinity with the Kurdish
Your
people?
last question. Hello. Nidal, I am unable to hear your voice. Kindly, if you could repeat your question.
Yes. So the Kurdish people culturally and ethnically identify themselves similar to the Baluchi people. It's known that your rules in the 1600s and 1700s, like ours, use the title Mir, M-I-R. Many independent Baluchi activists also historically used Kurd as a surname. How do you feel about the affinity with the Kurdish people?
Thank you, Nejla, for asking me this question. As I said earlier, that we always feel a sense of pride in our ethnic and cultural connection with the Kurdish people. Historically, we were inhabitants of the same region, and and even after centuries have passed, the similarities in culture and lifestyle of Kurd and Baloch people are evident. Among the Baloch, there is a tribe named Kurd, and among the Kurd tribe, there is a prominent leader of Baloch that's named as Abdulaziz Kurd, and in 1920s and 1930s. And now there is one of the recent leader of Baloch, who is Zaid Kurd, who has been missing from the last 10 years and forcibly disappeared by the Pakistan agencies. I genuinely wish for the enhancement of our social and political region, with the Kurds aspiring to establish a deep social and political unity between our people. Thank you.
I believe, well, I won't hold you longer than this. This will be my last question. Despite all the arrests, pressure, and torture you faced, your struggle actions persist. If you have a message or a call you'd like to convey to the Kurdish people and global communities through your TV and newspaper, what would you? Well, we would eager to hear this.
I extend my heartfelt message to our Kurdish brothers and sisters. Our connection goes beyond mere ethnic and cultural similarity. It's rooted in a shared experience of pain, suffering, and oppression. Just as the Kurds have endured decades of genocide, the Baloch nation is facing a similar kind of systemic genocide. Both of us are treated like foreigners in our own land. I wish to convey my hope that the Baloch and the Kurd can join forces in the fight against the oppression on the international stage, raising our voices together. I am deeply inspired by the resilient struggle of Kurdish women, and I'm honored also, and the powerful narratives of surrounding that surround their struggles. My wish is for Baloch women to adopt the path of Kurdish women in their own struggle. To my Kurdish nation, I want to express that this night of oppression is on the verge of ending. I believe in this, and my strongest belief in this is that this will end soon, and a bright morning will surely come for both the Baloch and the Kurd. Together, united, strengthened, we can overcome the challenges we face and build a future for our coming generations that will be more peaceful and that will be one humanized way. We want to end the all of the dehumanization that they have done to our nation from centuries, and they didn't even let us to live, let us to breathe. We have memories of war, we have memories of terror, we have memories of pain. I wish we could have memories of happiness, joy, of peace, and I know that that day will come soon. Thank you.
Thank you very much, dear Mahrang Baloch, for
Thank you.
joining us today and sharing your pain and struggle of the Balochi people. We feel you, we feel your pain, solidarity, and thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you.